So today's Thursday. So today's Thankfulness Thursday or Gratitude Thursday. And just a quick reminder for those that aren't online right now, if you're watching this video, again, this is we meet every day, Monday through Friday, just for a few minutes from about noon to 12:15. And we cycle through various practices that have been shown, both in our clinic as well as other studies to, just help reset our default mode network in our nervous system. So today we're going to focus on gratitude. And before we get going, let me just define what gratitude is. So gratitude is an embodied experience. So the main thing to take away there is it's something that we experience in our body. It's not just an intellectual, knowing or thinking about something. And it also involves an awareness that we've benefited from someone or something. And this last part is really key. We've benefited through no doing of our own, right? So in a very real way, gratitude is when we have the experience in our body where we become aware of the fact that we are receiving a gift from someone else, from a circumstance in our life. It's just something that's happening to us. So our ability to really drop into this place to know and be conscious of the fact that this is happening is a really foundational well-being skill to cultivate. And ideally, some kind of daily gratitude practice is key. And so today, the gratitude I want to focus on is what I call gratitude for the basics. So usually when I think of gratitude, I think we oftentimes think of being grateful to other humans and maybe even expressing that. And the truth is, gratitude doesn't necessarily have to involve other people. It can also involve, in this case, what I call sort of the basic infrastructure of just our daily lives. So in a former life, many years ago, I was a wilderness guide. So my job there was to take other humans out into wilderness, into the backcountry for, days, sometimes weeks on end. And as cool as that was, I always noticed that when I came back home, there was something really magical about being able to, go into a room in my house and turn this knob in the wall, and suddenly there was this hot water coming out of the ceiling. Or just being able to go to a sink and, have running water that I didn't have to boil or I didn't have to treat in any way so that I could benefit from it. And so today I'm going to walk us through a short guided meditation where we'll just focus on, cultivating some awareness and some gratitude for how we benefit on a daily basis from, some of the basic infrastructure that surrounds us. So let's start as we usually do when we do meditations. If you're up for it, close your eyes. I find closing my eyes helpful to just bring my attention inward. And then just notice for a second before we get started, before I take you guys on this little journey, notice your feet on the ground. Notice your body breathing. See if you can just bring yourself into this moment. Our to-do lists and all the things that we have to do for the rest of the day, they'll still be here in about 10 minutes from now. What's happened this morning has already happened. So right now, just see if you can be here in the now. And just for a few minutes, give ourselves the gift of doing this together. And notice, for example, how the fact that we can gather here on this call on a daily basis is the result of the fact that we all have electricity in our homes, right? We walk into rooms and there's a switch that we can just turn on when it's dark, and magically there's light. And it allows us to be on this call together. It allows us to have this magical thing called the internet. And see if you can imagine the people involved in making all of this work. And someone at some point installed wires in the walls. Someone at some point built or thought of how to build a router and was able to ship it to your home so that we could be on this call together. Just imagine all these people whom we don't even know their names, but they're all doing work that ultimately is benefiting us. And speaking of homes, we're able to put our waste and our garbage out in front of our door, and magically once a week, some people, again, whose names we don't even know, they just show up and they remove this garbage from our home. Like I mentioned earlier, we can go into our kitchen or our bathrooms and just turn on the faucet and have clean running water pretty much any time that we want. And all of this was put in place by people who spend their lives doing this. And again, we don't know their names. We've never met them. Most of the time, we don't know who they are, but they are doing this with the kind of skill that allows it to be safe. We have these electric wires in our walls, and for the most part, it's safe and it works. We have building inspectors that are making sure that all of this is done so that we can live safely in our homes. We have people who have written building codes and have put a lot of thought and attention into things that we have no idea about. And yet it's all there for us to benefit from on a daily basis. And they were also able to build our homes and put all of this infrastructure in place because there are roads that they can drive their trucks on and that we get to drive on. And those too were put there and were built by people we don't know and are maintained by people we don't know. And for the most part, we can get in our cars or we can walk down the sidewalks and we can cross the street because there's traffic lights that work and that were installed by someone. Or the stop signs get replaced after a storm and they've been knocked over. There's all of this infrastructure that's been put in place and is being maintained for our benefit. And on many levels, we have nothing to do with it. It's just there for us. And along those lines, if something happens and we need help, we can pick up our phones and we can dial a number. And again, for the most part, there are people ready to support us. Ambulances show up at our homes and take us to hospitals that are filled with human beings that have all kinds of skills that can help us when we're in pain and when we get hurt. And just taking a moment to appreciate all of these people involved in these processes that, again, we don't do anything necessarily on a daily basis to contribute to that. It's just all there for us. We can pick up the phone and order food from a restaurant and have someone deliver to our door because all this infrastructure exists. We can go to a grocery store and watch with amazement and gratitude just the aisles and aisles of food that's available for us to purchase and take home to sustain ourselves. And all of that's also possible because on a really basic fundamental level, we just by sheer luck happen to live in a part of the world where there's no, for the most part, there's an absence of daily violence. There's no war. Just imagining all the people in Ukraine or other parts of the world right now that don't have the luxury or aren't benefiting from all of this infrastructure that surrounds us. And again, for the most part, works and benefits us on a daily basis. So I'm going to be quiet for the next minute or two, and let's just sit with that. Again, remembering gratitude is an embodied experience. So see if you can really feel into it, feel into the appreciation. And then go ahead, take a deep breath in, filling up your belly and your lungs. And exhaling fully, feeling breath leave your body. Take another deep breath in. And on this exhale, open your eyes and see everyone else that's on this call. All of our brothers and sisters wanting to feel well and good, and taking the time out just for 15 minutes to drop in and practice gratitude for today. So I hope this was a useful practice. As usual, I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes if anyone wants to hang out and talk. If any of you also need support, you can always find me at citclinics.com/Oli. If you want to set up a time for us to chat, happy to do that. And otherwise, I will be here at noon tomorrow, same time, same place, and wish you well. Look forward to seeing you again. Take care, everyone.